Yo, it's Kojey Radical, and you are now locked into Yltv. Houdini Kojini with the porn star martini, the chocolate-covered savior with no behavior. Here to tell you, don't switch it nowhere. Peace.
Payback, the big payback. Dark on both sides, the dress code black. Count my money up, I need my racks. Selling it.
The funny part about you is that I discovered your music because I'm such a big Gets fan.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I listened to every one of his features.
Right.
And then I listened to the mood track.
Yeah.
I was
Oh,
like,
wow.
Wow,
Okay.
who the fuck? And then I kind of took a light dive into your music.
Yeah.
And then I left again.
Okay.
And I realized...
So when did you come back?
I actually, last year, started following you on Twitter.
Oh, no.
For some reason. And this sounds so stupid. As a music fan, I started following you because you posted something that I found amusing or something. And you had a really dope picture. I'm not gonna lie. It sounds weird, but it was something about the vibe.
Yeah, they just
and
seemed
I
like a
started
little-
to scroll through your feed, and I was like, I like this guy.
Yeah,
and
this
just
is
pressed
alright.
follow.
I love that.
And then I forgot about you again.
I hear that.
And
I don't
then,
tweet as much as I should, though.
And then you ended up, obviously, in my feed.
Yeah.
And when you posted music, I started to listen to the
it.
music.
Sick.
And then because I've had these bits and bops from the Gets track to the Twitter following.
Yeah.
And then when I started following you and hearing the music, I started to, oh shit,
You're right,
this
piece it all
is
together.
something
Okay.
that I've liked for a long time.
That makes sense.
But now I understand it. And then I started listening to your older music and diving into the universe.
I love that because I think discovering music isn't a linear process of just like hearing someone once and then you become like a super fan and you're like, oh my God, I know everything. You kind of, that person almost, with any person, even when I discover music, the song needs to kind of come back around. Or like, I might like one song and rinse that song, but I might not know the rest of their discography. And like, meet them at a random event or something, and I'm like, oh my God, it's you.
Yeah.
But that's just how music is, isn't it? I think it's that. It's like we're in a digital world of like crate digging to some degree.
And the fact that a lot of music these days are single based. There's not a plan. There's no like if I discover a song that I like, there's nothing to dive into.
Yeah.
And even though you might not had the biggest fan base from the get-go, you, and now I'm talking for you, it seems like you built the universe from start. So whenever me or someone else is ready to tap in, there's so much to tap into that you become a fan.
Yeah. You got it spot on, really.
Have that been like a vision for you from the get-go, or?
Nah, I mean, I didn't think I was ever going to be in music. I thought I was going to be in the art world.
But that makes sense, though.
Yeah. It was the whole inception of my music career came from world building, you know?
Yeah.
It came from having an idea for a story and wanting to make a soundtrack to the story. And I literally started, Dear Daisy was that. And then I kind of got into like, okay, well, I'm in the game now. Let's make some songs. Let's make a project. And I didn't become a good single artist until 2018. And I started in like 2014 or something like that.
Yeah.
2013, 2014.
But you come from spoken word.
Yeah, I came from poetry. And even the transition from poetry into making music was quite difficult because of the way I learned to write. You know, it was very much like free flowing. There was no bar structures. I remember one of the first songs that I put out that got quite popular at the time was a song called Bamboo. And my producer told me the first verse is nearly 52 bars. And the chorus...
Oh, yeah, because you were one of those that couldn't count bars.
I couldn't count bars.
Yeah.
And then the chorus must have been about 4 to 8 bars. And then I was back in for another 32. And he was like, what is this? This makes no sense. But the song kind of took off. And I think it was blissful ignorance that kind of made it intriguing to an audience, I think.
Yeah, because it separates itself from the rest.
Literally. And I think... and not thinking, oh, I want to be a rapper meant I didn't have to portray myself as a rapper. You know, I could wear whatever I want. I could move however I want. I could say whatever I want because it was ultimately for me anyway.
And that's so funny because when you read your Wikipedia, the genre box, and not to box you, but
it says about a million things.
Grime, hip hop, alternative rap, and spoken word.
Christ almighty.
Like,
it says, do you know what's crazy? It says grimy.
Yeah, grimy.
It doesn't even say grime. It says grimy, hip hop, alternative, punk, postmodern.
But what's the funny part is actually a person who tried to box you in.
Couldn't do it.
I have to add another one, another one.
Man. It's funny. I tried to get like, I hate saying fans. Fans is a weird word to me, but I tried to get people that support me to go to my Wikipedia and add all my aliases in. Yeah. And someone like Wikipedia keeps taking them off because there's no sources.
Get blocked.
But I'm just like, yo, we kind of need that for it to make sense. For it to make sense, but you know.
But a funny part, because I watched an interview, like a recent one with Kenny Allstar, and you said you're actually the first that recognized me as a rapper.
Yeah, he's one of them.
And you said it was kind of a process. Like, where did you make the transition, or did you actually make a transition?
I don't know. I think that transition's only happened recently. Yeah. I think people recognizing or understanding me as a rapper, and if not one of the better rappers in the country.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, you are though.
You know. Do you know why? The reason why I say this is, again, you're a Gets fan. Yeah. So already that's a high pedestal. Yeah. And then if you look at like, okay, he's made several songs with Gets. He's made several songs with Wretch. He's toured with Kano.
That was one of my points.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Because I came into your universe via Gets.
Through Gets.
And then I see the track list for the album. Yeah. And I see Wretch. Yeah. And I'm like, the cosigns.
There's no way I can rap next to these people and not be one of the better ones in the country. Do you see what I'm saying? So for me to get to that point took going other ways. Yeah. Because I could have just stood up and been like, yo, I'm the best, rah, rah, rah. Or I could just like quietly do it my way and have everybody want to come over here. Do you see what I'm saying? Yeah. So working with different people in general was almost a marrying of worlds, you know. They liked making music my way. And they inspired me anyway because I was a civilian watching music. I wasn't in it. Do you know what I mean? Like, so it's been a bit of an interesting journey in terms of getting people to recognize me as a rapper because I came in as a poet, and then after poetry, I was just the weird guy. Do you know what I mean? For ages,
you kind of still are though.
I know, but it's like now weird's cool. Everyone wants to hang with the weird guy.
But that's a fair point. That weird's cool now.
Yeah, man. Yeah, doing something else is interesting now because we've heard everything else.
Yeah, and it's so much of the same, and then
just builds on nothing. You know?
Yeah, and we actually interviewed Mahalia before you, and we all talked about the same subject. That a friend of ours, he did an interview, and he said that when you talk to people in the music industry these days, they don't talk about music; they talk about numbers and followers. And
I think that's almost been my not even like my Achilles heel in some sense because I've never cared. So even the idea of like what would make somebody big or popular or famous or these things I couldn't monetize in numbers because it didn't mean anything to me. It was always just like, were people still interested in the music for the music? Not because everybody else is listening to it, not because it's got the most numbers of things. Do they hear this song by themselves and go, what the fuck is that? And try to Shazam it under the table real quick and save it to their little playlist. Like, I want that effect. I don't care about like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, mate, like even now, even the success of Reason to Smile and all that stuff is like, it's air to me. Yeah. Because I think I allowed myself to get fixated on it. Yeah. And then it's happened and then the week's over. Yeah. And then you're back to having to understand that this music is supposed to last forever and not from Friday to Friday. And so much of music is just Friday to Friday now. Yeah, and that's another part about your music. It seems like focus on longevity is so present. It makes it last longer. Yeah. Or it has to be that way because, again, it's like, especially now, the world's slower paced. Like, I would have dropped this before and been in Europe and been in America and been in Africa within 6 months because you could just do it. You could jump on a plane, you can go, everything's moving. Whereas everything's kind of got to be more thought out, more regulations, more this, more that. You almost have to make music so good that by the time you can get to that country to promote it, they still care.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
and like that's a hard thing to do, but I think it's looking at where your source material comes from.
Yeah.
What is inspiring you? Because to some degree, we've never gotten over the oldies, you know. The old bangers, like the funk tunes, the disco tunes, the early soul records, R&B records. We can't get over them. They're too good. How do we get that effect in the now? So 20 years, people are going, oh, man.
But that's also, because like when you talk to, like before, when it was a physical product, like it could take years to break a song. And obviously the song didn't disintegrate during that phase.
Yeah.
But now it couldn't because most songs wouldn't last.
Yeah.
And the same with when you drop an album. Like before, it was standard, like drop 3 singles and then the album and then 3 singles. But now, once the project is out, everyone is like, it's done,
finished.
Next.
And that's what blows my brain, because it's like now it's like the project's out. People are feeling this song, this song, and this song. We didn't pick those as singles, but people are feeling these songs. Like let's get back to work.
Yeah.
And but I think it's a mentality thing, you know. I think that's what splits the difference. Do you know what I'm saying? I think, especially like, I don't know. I think now we're looking for lightning in a bottle more so than actually grinding a song out and actually working it. It's like kind of just roll the dice, throw it on TikTok, see what happens. Do you know what I mean? Kind of.
Yeah. And if it doesn't work,
throw another one.
throw
another one. It's like, no. I hear it. TikTok's made stars, you know. It's made global celebrities overnight. But I think even within that, you gotta interview those people 5 years from now, 10 years from now, and ask them how hard the struggle was to transition from being an app artist, or, do you know what I'm saying, someone that's blown up in a particular way, to now having to find and establish themselves within the industry once the initial hype dies down. That's a scary thing to deal with. You know?
Yeah, we actually interviewed Lils.
Yes.
The Sun Goes Down.
Yeah.
And that's what we talked about, like how scary that gotta be scary, and tried to pick his brain in terms of being 16-year-old.
Yeah, he's young. He won't know yet. He won't know yet, man.
Yeah, but his answer was good though. Yeah. Like it sounds like he was rehearsing those questions. It sounds like.
No, I imagine, because I'm sure it's come up so much, and it's the first thing that's going to come up. But knowing is experience.
Yeah.
Knowing is trying to get that 4th, 5th, 6th song out, and seeing the difference between day 1 and day 50. You see what I'm saying?
And that's why, because the kids are dreaming about what happened to him, but to you and me, it sounds like a nightmare.
I would hate it, bro.
And that age, like being a star at 16.
Do you know how stupid I was at 16?
Yeah.
I was an idiot.
Yeah.
like I was
to this date, I wish I never win the lottery.
Yeah.
Because I would have been a dickhead tomorrow.
Yo, the next day.
Yeah.
Quitting everything.
And dead after a week.
Oh, easily in a pile of whatever I bought.
Yeah. Crashed a Ferrari in a pool.
Do you know what I mean? Just
white
floating,
powder.
tigers walking past.
Yeah.
Still got friggin' sterilizers in their legs. They're just dragging themselves.
Yeah.
It's
100%.
horrible.
Yeah, 100%. And we as humans, we're that easy. And that's what scares me with all of this.
Yeah.
But one thing about TikTok, though, TikTok also proves that a good song is never dead.
Yeah.
Because now we see all these kids bumping music that they would never discover if it wasn't for it being on TikTok and being such a great song, and them connecting to it, even though they don't have the context or it's just the strength of good music.
My cousin has a great story on that. She had released her project in November of 2020. I think it was either November of 2020 or November of 2020. No, November of 2020. And the next November, a song from that project goes viral on TikTok, and she's still like running that tune up until now. But it took a full year of that project being out, and it got love when it came out for that song to land, and then now carry her to the next step. And like naturally, anyone else would go, didn't bang, didn't work. Leave it, scrap it, and you just never know, innit? You just gotta make music that's good enough.
And I think like if you be upset about, I hate this TikTok thing and this TikTok songs, you gotta shift focus.
Yeah,
and,
I'm on there.
And think about that.
I've listened to this song. I listened to the same song. My journey here was about an hour and 20 minutes, and I listened to the same song
over and over again.
I think because of TikTok. It's a song called Machine by Busy Signal. And it's a refix of Ballin' by Roddy Ricch. I actually started listening to the song at 5 a.m.
Yeah.
I just stopped.
Yeah.
That's because of TikTok. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm guilty of, do you know what I'm saying? I'm completely guilty of it. And I think that's the duality of the changing industries, is that anytime something new comes around, it's very easy to see the flaws in its structure and how things, but the reason why it works is because in some way we're all complicit in the idea of discovering music, and all we want to do is just find new vibes and have it come to us as easy as possible. I think people just haven't necessarily understood the internet, and like when the internet takes you, it's like, yeah, you're ours now. That's crazy. Do you know what I mean? That's wild, and it happens for different people in different times. Like for me, I had to grind the other route. I didn't really get the internet like that. Don't need it though. Nah, actually no. Internet loved me. Love me, internet.
If it wasn't for the internet, because I discovered the Gets song via his profile, and that's due to the internet. I discovered you on Twitter.
It's true. It is all online. I finished once I finished uni and put the first songs out. I had to put them out on SoundCloud. That's online. It's like, and I think maybe it's because for what the SoundCloud generation had, they have now in TikTok.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Because I remember discovering most of my music taste in the now is because of the SoundCloud era of 2010 to 2014.
Yeah.
Easily.
Yeah.
Like Soul Action, even, do you know what's crazy? Half the people on my album, the first time I heard their music was on SoundCloud.
Yeah.
Especially like Shea Universe, first time I heard it was on SoundCloud. Tiana Major 9. Who else? Nux, first time I heard him was on SoundCloud.
Yeah.
Like so many different people. But I guess now it's just transitioned. It's just a different app.
I could have talked about your album. That could have been an interview by itself. But I just want to talk, because I heard that you had it for a while, and it took a while to make it. What's been the process of it? And was it like were you going into it making an album, or did it become?
For the first time ever in my musical career, I walked into making a project saying, I am making my album. With the rest of them, my intention in the beginning was always to make a short body of work, and I'm a bit too extra for my own good.
Yeah, because what you call an EP,
it's not an EP.
It's not an EP.
But I say everything is based on intention.
Yeah.
So when I walked into that room, let's say if I go to a sweet shop.
Because when you wrote my debut album, I was like, what? And then I have to go
If I go into a sweet shop, and my intention is to only buy a Coca-Cola, and I come out with some Skittles, Milky Bar, packet of crisp, and a Coca-Cola, I've got a meal. I'm not mad at that. Do you know what I mean? I went in there for one thing, I've got some other things. When I say EP, you might walk in there, you might just want a couple free tunes. You got 10. Here you go. Free. Have that. Do you know what I'm saying? That's yours on the house. With the album,
but when you don't call it an album, then it's to prevent people for measuring you to the album standard.
To some degree. Or, for me, it was almost like saying, I know I'm new here. When it's time for me to make an album, this is the standard that you're supposed to uphold me at with the EPs. So if you listen to the EPs and you think, right, these are album quality EPs, like what's this guy doing? I'm saying to you, okay, if that's what you think, wait till the album. When the album comes, you're going to see what I mean by I'm making an album. Do you know what I'm saying? So walking into the album process, it was a bit stagnant in some places because I had to start it during lockdown. So the first few tunes I made in my mum's house, in the mother of my son, her kitchen. I recorded solo in there, like random places, and then I kind of got comfortable with the music I was making. I remember turning to my team and saying, "Okay, we're gonna make the album now," and I had to do it in separate camps. So we went to, we made the album in Jamiroquai's old studio.
Oh.
We went out to the countryside and we was on
Another
the farm.
person whose music never dies.
Exactly. And never fit into any particular box. It was always transitioning. We was in the Jamiroquai studio and we did 2 separate camps. And the first camp, I had a lot of like internal blocks because, again, now I knew I was making the album. So now I was doubting the things I was saying and how I was saying it and what was going on. And writing became a very chore process. So to write a lot of the music, I had to stop writing. I had to go into the booth and just react. And like, we made upwards of like 100 songs for this album, you know?
Okay.
Like there's loads of features that never made it to the album. There's loads of stuff that just, it was a process. And then we went back. So I remember we had made one version of the album and I got a boy, he's one of my best friends. But I hate him and I love him at the same time.
Yeah, but that's the best friend.
That's her best friend.
Yeah.
And like, because you know them people that like, even when they say something small, it's gonna stay on your brain for the rest of the day. So I remember,
and I keep quoting them to others.
Yes, exactly.
And passing it on as my knowledge.
So I remember him coming and he was listening to the first version of the album and then he heard War Outside, and he was like, oh, I actually thought the album was gonna be more of that.
Yeah.
And it's the way he said it. It's the way he said it. I was like, we're going to need another camp. Yeah. I went back again and made like essentially another album. Yeah. And then we married them. We married the best parts of all of them. Do you know what I mean? And then glued it all together with my mom and it all ended up making sense. And it was...
But what was his feedback then?
Well, when the second time?
Yeah.
The second time he loved it.
Okay.
Yeah, he loved it. He loved it. We found a balance for him.
So he didn't need it.
Yeah, because do you know what it is? He's my friend that only wears black.
Yeah.
Predominantly, he's just always like. Do you exclusively wear black?
Yeah.
Right. So you and him would get along. He only wears black. He likes to skate.
I'm well done out with these shoes, but other than that, yeah.
See he like colorful shoes is scary to him.
Yeah. Oh, they aren't, but yeah.
This would be color to him.
Okay. Yeah.
Gray is color.
Yeah,
No,
to me too.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Well.
Like,
and when I put on colors, people like, yo, what's happening?
Exactly. So imagine 15 songs that sound like Together from the album.
Yeah.
In his world, nightmare.
Yeah.
Too much color. It's too bright in here. What the hell is going on? He was like, no, we need some grit. Do you know? We need some balance.
I know. Yeah. Okay.
So he got it. In the end. He got what he wanted.
Your first EP, there was a lot of featurings, and then there were like 2 projects almost exclusively without featurings, and then the album comes. And it's like the record.
Yeah. What was it? 11. I think I got 11 features.
And if I were to predict, like if based on this conversation or your music, you strike me as one of those artists that will be, I want to do my album all by myself. I want to stand on my own feet and I don't need anyone. And then he does the opposite.
I did the opposite.
You're like the TikTok trend, like you will never predict my next move.
Yeah. You'll never see my next move coming. Basically, I did it on purpose. I made Cashmere Tears by myself. Yeah. Well, I made Cashmere Tears with me and my cousin and essentially the same production group that ended up working on Cashmere Tears. Yeah. I keep saying me and my cousin. My cousin's Amare. Yeah. She's a Ghanaian artist that's been going crazy right now. She's amazing. And she came down from Ghana and we was in another village somewhere. I like making albums in fucking villages and shit. Yeah. And I just remember... I'm
not surprised, but go on.
Yeah, I know. And we had all those songs and it was like, so-and-so would sound sick on this, so-and-so would sound sick on that. And it was like, I just remember saying, nah, they get in one, just me. And then when it's album time, it's a party. Yeah. Because it was almost like a part of me was sick of sitting outside of the industry, knowing full well the industry could exist in my world. Do you know what I'm saying? I can work with these people, bring them over to what I'm doing, and it will sound better than anything. Do you know what I'm saying? And it doesn't always have to be this big degree of separation. And I can work with artists that people would never expect me to work with. Do you know what I mean? Like people never would have predicted the song with me and Cash, but
No.
they would have never predicted how the song sounded.
Yeah, I'm not
with me
gonna
and
lie.
Khalees.
I was shocked at
Yeah.
some few of them.
Do you know what I'm saying? But on the hard drive in the studio, bro, I got 55 million of those records, bro.
Yeah.
Of every vibe on the album, I've got 55 million more because like I just lock in
Yeah.
and just keep going and keep going and keep going. So, and then a snapshot of that comes out. So it's still shocking to other people, but for us, we had bare people on the album. We had one crazy Afrobeat joint with Jadena. That one didn't make it. We had one with Parsaloo. That one didn't make it. Like we could have made an Afrobeat album. Yeah, well,
yeah.
Do you know what it was with that one? With the past tune, at that point, me and Pa hadn't met,
Yeah.
so it didn't feel as organic
Okay.
as the rest of the
That
records.
makes sense.
Do you know what I'm saying? So there's loads. There's like there's so many people was at the camp as well. Do you know what I'm saying? Like up and coming artists to established artists. People was just coming through and just was there for the vibes and the energy and just to share space. Do you know what I'm saying? Like Wretch wasn't even meant to be on the album. Wretch was there as Mr. Miyagi.
Yeah.
He was there to make sure I was waxing off
As
and waxing
he
off.
is.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Catching flies with chopsticks.
Yeah.
That's what he was there for.
Yeah.
And certain songs on the album were some of the hardest writing processes I ever had. Not because the song was difficult to write. It's because I'm sat in the room and Wretch is opposite me. And he's bar checking me.
Yeah.
And I'm spitting something and he's like, yeah, that's cold. Spit something else. No, next one. Try another one. Like things like that. And I'm like,
I get a pulse now.
do you know what I'm saying? I'm
Yeah.
like, because do you know what song that was? It was Pusher Man BWI.
Yeah.
I wrote in front of Wretch. And like, for a lot of people, that's like one of the greater rap moments on the album. And I goes, that's because I had Wretch opposite me, literally bar checking me on that last half. Like, the, what's the line that what's the line? Nothing more. Before the camera phone, certain man were never 30. He was losing his minds to that line, and I was cleaning up my act while you were still rehearsing. Hey, I just remember the moments, man. He ended up leaving and coming back, and when he came back, I was playing in the song I did with Shaka, and I had a third verse on that song. But with Wretch, if he likes something, he'll start rapping under his breath because he doesn't write either. So he'll start rapping under his breath. Like he'll be looking at him. Like,
I can fit in this pocket.
You can just hear him whispering as he's like listening to the song. And I was sat next to him. And I'm like, I've gone over to KZ, who's playing. Like he's one of my producers, and he's playing. And he goes, "Take my third verse off." So I said, "Just mute the third verse before I come." So he's muted the third verse. And he's come around. And it's just instrumental playing. I can hear him mumbling louder. I goes, "Yeah, no, this is you." He's like, "All right, cool, bet." He goes into the next room. I'm telling you, about 35 minutes later, he's come back with the verse. Like
I haven't processed that song yet.
Yeah, it's one of those ones.
Yeah,
it's one. I say, Solo, Beautiful, and Born are those records that are like one of those ones that will find people out of context.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? So I think there's gonna be a time, maybe by the time the winter comes, people would have heard Solo out of context, out of the album structure, don't even know it's on the album, and that will become their favorite song just because they're going through something. Or like Beautiful is gonna land in this when it's actually hot out here, and the gal in them are in the sundresses, and they're walking into the barbecue, everything's moving in slow motion. All of a sudden, that song's gonna click.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like,
and that's also the weird part about my job, because when an artist drop an album, like the next week, I'm supposed to talk to an artist about that album, and I'm like, but I need 6 months.
Yeah, give me a second.
Like, this fall, can we talk about it this fall? Like, I haven't understood
I've skimmed it. Just walk in and be like,
you worked with it for 3 years, and I'm supposed to just take it in and have a conversation about it?
It's impossible.
Yeah.
But it's calm. 6 months. Come, we'll do another interview.
100%.
And we'll do Reasons Why.
This is Norway's biggest rap group by far.
Okay.
And they always do new and innovative things. So I can't show you their music videos.
Right.
Because their music, to see their music videos, you have to log on to their website. And they have made...
Hey, these men are STEM playing it.
They actually made a movie the
crazy.
loops on our locked website. So I can't show it.
Okay.
It's so crazy, and it would take me like another interview to explain it.
To even get into the website. Okay.
But this is actually one of Norway's like biggest songs right now.
Okay.
And this is a live performance of it.
Right. Sweet. That was some Birdman shit. Have you seen Birdman? When the door and everything's just moving. Yeah, cold. Okay. All right, all right. Camera work's impressing me so far. Obviously that has nothing to do with the music, but man's hair is on fire. Put that out, though. Is this what the parties them is like over there? Okay. Yeah, fancy parties. Everyone's got Cartier glasses on and them things there. Fancy.
Hello and welcome. This is room 18 and what will be the future of all music studios.
Okay.
3 floors featuring state-of-the-art equipment and creative tools. But most importantly, located on the 3rd floor, DLA, Deep Lucid Arts by the Mother Limited. No more writer's block. Ever. Choose your inputs from a wide selection of experiences. Sit back and enjoy the ride. You can even go live and broadcast your experience to anyone, anywhere. Insert inputs.
This is mad. That already, there's been no music, but I would just watch this as a short film.
Loading. User interface loading. Charging. 5, 4, 3, 2.
They gotta have bars though, innit? After all of this, if they ain't rapping good, this would be crazy. That would be so crazy. If they did all of this and it's just Scandinavian mumble rap, that would be wild. Hey, come with the bars, let's go. Let's go. Alright, bro's got the slick back. Okay. Okay. I was not expecting this. Who's in the group? Who's in the group? How many man is in this group?
2.
Just 2 man? I thought it was like Blazing Squad or something. It looks like there's 15 men or something. Okay. What's man sitting on? Is that a donkey or a goat? It's a donkey. Or a llama, an alpaca. Is there quite a big Arabic culture out there? They made it, they just start cutting through like that. So what, when you go out there, because you said it's the biggest tune, so when I go out there, I'm in the clubs and we're rocking out. Okay, say less, I need to learn the lyrics. Okay. Jeez, with a gully creeper. I like this. I enjoy this greatly. I wish I knew what they were saying. But just sonically, this is hard. And creatively, this is crazy. I think that's the balance though, innit? I think music can exist in so many different worlds. that you're almost trying to paint a picture with every song. And if you can really paint a picture, then you can really get people to see what you're trying to create, regardless of the language barrier. I said all of these dons look fly. A man just walked up some Air India steps. Winky dink? I think not.
والسلام عليك يا بابا الله الله يا بابا والسلام عليك يا بابا يا تترو يا بابا دابل ستور يا بابا.
Chorus is Scandinavian, okay.
Nah, the chorus is
Arabic, okay. And the verses are Scandinavian.
Yeah. When we're talking about making a universe, their universe is so crazy.
Yeah.
It's beyond just the fact that, like in the whitest country in the world, people are singing Allah, Allah.
That's what I was
in
there.
the clubs.
Yeah, that's what I was like, that's what I asked. When you go to the clubs, are all the Scandinavian man in there going,
And
Allah,
they have a concert in August, 10 concerts, 10 days a row, the biggest venue, 100,000 tickets.
Is there even 100,000 people out there?
They gotta come from all over.
Karpe, if you're watching, just let me get a cameo in one of these little films, because it's looking real movie-esque, and I'm digging it. I'm digging it, for real. No, I rate that one, that was good.
And this is like one of the biggest in Sweden.
Who's my guy from Sweden that I like? It's gonna bug me, I need to find out.
Vi har kommit en lång väg från Rinkeby nu, bror. Anyway, som ni redan vet er broder Yasin här. Jag vill bara tacka er för att ni följde med mig på den här resan. Det här sista spåret går ut till Diddy och Pumba. Tata älskar er. Jag älskar mina fans, de får mig pusha på. Vill du switcha på mig, där är dörren, varsågod och gå. Jag kan känna mig rätt seg ibland, jag tror inte du förstår. Har vaknat upp på fel sida av min säng i flera år. Kan vara skönt att komma bort från allt och alla då och då. Försöker hitta känslor som jag dolt djupt i mitt förråd. Har en bild på min familj, jag hängde upp den på min vägg. På grund av covid har inte kunnat träffa någon av dem än. Jag har inte velat prata om min dotter i någon låt. Men när jag missade hennes första dag, jag tog det ganska hårt. Konfrontera sitt förflutna, det är en inre kamp. Jag brukar springa från mig.
It's mad, you know, because I think based on tourism alone, you would never think Sweden had hoods. Do you know what I mean? You never think they had ghettos or ends or anything like that. And they do, and like I don't know if I've seen the guy in the video yet, but like I know there's like a massive Sudanese culture out there, and loads of people from like Suriname and people from all over really. And there's a lot more areas to Sweden than just the main city. So when you get rappers like this, it's dope, because I think people think the same thing about the UK. I think they think it's all tea and crumpets and stuff like that. But it's not, man. You can get chased down an alleyway here and there.
Som inspirerar min musik, fuck it upp med det har också varit i andra situationer. Kan vi prata om att jag inte har någon tur i relationer? För jag såg det här om dagen i stan, tänkte på gå fram. Du försvann medans jag försökte komma på ditt namn. Det är så synd, det är inte lika lätt att...
I don't fully know what he's saying, but I know he's talking about the streets. You can hear it in the... You don't pick an instrumental like this and not talk about... Hey!
Jag har spelat in musik hela sommaren. Jag och brorsan on the come up. Vi kan aldrig se ner på någon annan. Jag har sett så många falla. Lämna oss tidigt, vi kan aldrig chansen.
Where's he from? I'm trying to guess. Is he Sudanese? Is he Sudanese? Is he from Somalia? Ethiopia? He's from somewhere. I know them men are out there. That's who would have seen the pain for real to make this. That shot is dope as well, the fallen scene.
Jag lovade mig själv att inte bli så här personlig i år, men jag måste skriva av mig då och då. Det är bara en sån jag är.
Wow. Did they catch him? Catch him slipping? Wake up, man.
Dagen så är det vad du har tagit med dig ur situationen som är det enda som spelar någon roll. Jag har alltid sagt till mig själv att jag måste våga växa. Vare sig det gäller växa i mitt skapande eller att växa ifrån vänner.
It's like Swedish Top Boy.
Grejen är, det händer att jag ibland opererar utanför min ingen omgivningsförståelse eller att jag lever mitt liv utanför någon annans comfort zone. Men det behöver inte betyda att någon av oss har fel.
Nah, that's Jamie. That's more Jamie in the with the kit. Take the mask off. Yeah, we know it was you all along, bro. Nah. Cold, where's he from?
Somalia.
I knew it! I knew it in my soul and my spirit, man. Man, I'm out there repping. Yasin, keep grinding, brother. And shout me. You know what I'm saying? Don't let the people then block you, man. Denmark, Icekiid. We've got Icekiid out here, you know, so if he's not better than our Icekiid, it's peak. I'm just saying. Just letting it be known before I even press play. Big shoes to fill. ErruDumEllaHvad?
Are you stupid or what?
Are you stupid or what? Is that...
Jeg er tilbage fra et setback, og jeg svær at jeg slanger for en payback. Kan ikke rulle med dem, hvis vi går way back. Jeg havde en drøm, at jeg
Fam, I'm telling you now, this could have been shot in Hackney. I've been at drink-ups and barbecues and motives like this since man was 15, bro. Like, this just feels familiar. What's that on the table? That mustard and ketchup. Yeah, that's what we talking about. Condiments. The shisha pipe, yeah. Yeah, trust me.
De vil se mig med en sixpack. Ro på. Ice kommer ind med fed sko på. Ay, ay. Ro på. Ruller op, giv dem noget, de kan glo på. Ay, ay. Ro på. Denne drip kan din øjne ikke tro på. Ay, ay. Ro på. De vil hate på den mand, men det er ok. Er du dum eller hvad? Bare nice, er du dum eller hvad? Yo, er du dum eller hvad? Må derfor ved min side på en kald, tak skade. Er du dum eller hvad?
This has all been good so far. You guys picked some good videos. I thought there was gonna be some stinkers, but nah, this is cold.
Kommer lige fra bunden, og vi rammer kun toppen. Ung dreng med vision, hvem skulle kunne stoppe?
He's got the weights in the yard. Yeah. All they're missing is one of them big, you need a big dog, Rottweiler, Pitbull, an aggressive Chihuahua, something just barking in the camera. We need one of them. Yeah, man, flipping the chicken, trust me. Seasoned from the night before, because the man them love each other. I like this, man.
Dum eller hvad, står røv fra Tunis. Dum eller hvad, kannibal, jeg skal spise. Tiden den er inde, og det er tid til at vise, hvem der var, men er is.
I can tell you went Super Saiyan. I don't know what the bar was, I just know that would have been a crazy bar. I just know.
Må derfor ved min side på en kald, tak skade. Er du dum eller hvad, man? Dem spiller hård, men det er bare en facade. Stik mig en big party gal, og jeg er glad. Gør lige dig selv, er du dum eller hvad? Er du dum eller hvad?
Hey, I love it. Hey, I love this shit. This reminds me, yo, so when I was in uni, yeah, I used to date this girl from, where was she from? She was half Ecuadorian and a half, like, Ecuadorian, Dutch, and Pakistani, yeah? She used to take me to shisha places all the time. Fam, I feel like I've met 90% of these brothers in the back in the shisha spots. Just giving it the same. Giving it the same! Yeah, man. What's my man's name again? Icekiid. Yeah, you lived it up. You lived up to the test. You can be Icekiid.
So what was the favorite song and what was the favorite video?
My favorite song out of the three would be Icekiid. And my favorite video would be Yasin. I think visually, without understanding what he was saying, I can look at that video and relate immediately. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's the sign of a powerful artist. And I think with Icekiid, that's just the vibes, man. That's just the energy. What's that place? What's Freetown? And them places there, like, that's the vibes. You know what I'm saying? That's the energy. Yeah, I like that. That reminds me of something I would have bumped or listened to when I was a kid. You know what I'm saying? Chilling with the man them. Only thing missing from that video, as I said, was either the Rottweiler, the Pitbull, or the aggressive Chihuahua, and more gal. We needed gal at that party. There was no gal at that party. It was just the man them there. Which is calm, obviously, but 2022 is all about inclusion, man. Do you know what I'm saying? It's all about inclusion. So Icekiid, more gal in the video. Yasin, you're cold, man. Shout me. Karpe, let me get a cameo. Do you know what I'm saying? I'll be a humble zootbiller in the back of one of them videos. I'll be good, man. It'll be good. But I like this. This was all good.
Ice kommer ind med fed sko på, ay, ay. Ro på. bara nice här och